I'm begging you, Sergey. Sechenov has to die!
Jeez, get off my back already! Crispy critters! What the hell is going on around here? On the one hand, I've got lying, manipulative dicks who claim to be noble avengers. On the other, I've got a Soviet scientist and member of the Academy who wants to enlighten all mankind and use me to get rid of assholes. According to the manipulative dicks, that is. Whatever, lady. Why don't you show me what's in that arsenal of yours?
No.
I'm not laying a finger on Sechenov. I'm out. I've had enough of
Yes.
this game.
What the hell are you? Are you some scared little bitch?
You're making a mistake, Major! Head to Chalamet now!
If you're so worried about your righteous vengeance, you can go there yourselves. This is my decision, not yours. I'm not helping Sechenov anymore. I've done enough harm. But I'm not playing executioner for a member of the Academy, a hero of the Soviet Union, and a scientific genius. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
He is just using you!
Is that so? Then why aren't I in that limbo, huh? Why aren't you dead? The wizard isn't doing a good job from behind his curtain. By the way, Cherton, I was thinking.
Yes?
You fucked up! This fucking Voskhod polymer extension in my head, it was your invention! You tried to use people long before Collective came into being. Maybe Sechenov wants to knock the bullshit out of people's heads by crushing their spirit, but he isn't turning people into monsters just like me. Or he'd just use Voskhod instead of the thought controller and the shots!
You're making a mistake!
Holy shit.
Stop squirming, you asshole!
Huh. Charles is
There.
done. Kinda.
That's better.
Okay.
Security footage shows Major P3 exiting facility 3826.
There we go.
Fleeing. His destination remains
What the
unknown.
fuck?
Major P3 did not provide any information about his destination, but Dr. Sechenov views this infraction as insignificant. Near the exit used by Major P3, a camera recorded an unidentified object made of black polymer. Its design is unknown. Furthermore, due to its small size, the polymer object in question could not be further analyzed in the footage.
Okay. Well, jeez. So, what do we think? So both endings were abrupt. I thought there'd be more substance. Let me see if there's more than one ending. Okay, so it says 2 endings. Atomic Heart has a total of 2 endings to get, with the player being given an outright choice before the final boss of the game. That changes the ending they receive. How do you get the good ending? So how do you get the good ending in Atomic Heart? Atomic Heart's good ending. He'll have to confront Dr. Sechenov alone. That also means he has to get through the Doctor's deadliest bodyguards. Left and right during the battle. P3 learns more about left and right and even talks to his wife. What? Atomic Heart does have multiple endings, but by the time Agent P3 wraps his head around his predicament, he has very few options left. Atomic Heart's weak ending. He can choose to walk away. He can throw away everything he's done up to this point, discard the faint memory of his wife, forgive himself for all the people he's killed, and move to the Caribbean. There he watched the world burn with a drink in his hand, the kind with a little umbrella in it. Granted, doesn't like the good ending. Agent P3 decides to go on a warpath against Dr. Sechenov. He's signing up for an epic battle against him. Okay. Okay, Agent P3 decides to go on the warpath. During the battle, P3 learns more about left and right and even talks to his wife. He slowly comes to grips with everything Dr. Sechenov, Sakharov, and his own mind have been hiding from him all along. After Agent P3 defeats left and right, he fires a hasty shot into Sechenov's gut. The doctor then tells P3 about Sakharov's long-played deception. Turns out Sakharov has been the one sending P3 to Limbo to initiate his murderous rampage all along. Sakharov then shows his true colors by frying P3 almost to death and escapes into the neuropolymer body nearby. He delivers a well-rehearsed monologue about the end of the human race and the next phase of human evolution. Then he murders Sechenov and escapes. At the very end, P3 wakes up in Limbo and with his wife calling out to him. He looks up to see her. She's in the body of Wright, descending toward him from on high. She reaches for him, they touch, and the game ends. So, yeah. Those are the two endings. Okay. Oh my god. What can I say? I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting more. And that's the good ending. The one we got first, obviously, the one that we actually did something about, Sechenov. It didn't really seem like a good ending at all. But you know what? I guess we don't always get what we want. But it's weird because it said, I mean, there was a bit of sexual content, but I didn't see any over-the-top sexual content. I mean, there's sexual innuendos and stuff like that, but content itself, I don't know. I was expecting something else. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess we finished it finally. There was a point where I thought, maybe because we didn't explore the open world enough, maybe we got a bad ending there. But I guess it is what it is. I mean, that is what it is, right? I guess that's what we get. Oh, that's nice. Tereshkova, there she is. Or is that Claire? I think that's Tereshkova. Anyway, yeah, I did enjoy the gameplay, and by the end, I was pretty comfortable with the controls. Yeah, I did enjoy everything in terms of gameplay. In terms of story, I was enjoying the story. I was intrigued about all this stuff that was going on. At the end of the day, I don't think it's anything like extraordinary story-wise. I think it's very standard, average story. Gameplay was good. I would recommend the gameplay. I would recommend if somebody wanted to try it. I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it for $60 though. It is 20 plus. It took me like 20 plus hours to complete it. I would give it a 6. Just because of the story. The story itself, I would give it a 6. Combat wise, it's above average. Slightly above average. Story was very average, but the gameplay was pretty cool. Great effects, great graphics. Audio was fine. Lip syncing wasn't amazing, but it was okay. I've seen better. Obviously, we've seen better. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It's just slightly above average. I think it's slightly above average. I mean, I think nowadays games have really. We should hold games up to a much higher standard. And I feel like I want to say slightly above average just because it's not average. It has a lot of enemies, has a lot of positives, but it's nowhere near being a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. It's nowhere near being game changing in terms of the video game industry, in my opinion. I definitely like the story. Honestly, between you and I like the story of The Last of Us 2 more. Like, better. I don't know. Even though it was completely dissatisfying, but at least it gripped me. It had me. You know, there was a point where it had me gripped. This one, there were points where I was gripped, but then there were points of like what the fuck is going on? Just give me more. I wish I could have had more time about learning about his backstory, about his wife, maybe seeing some scenes with his wife. It would have given me a little bit more, I don't know, more relatability, not just with him but with the twins, because you know, basically his wife were the twins, in a way. And so I don't know, I guess, yeah, it's just I didn't really get attached. Like, I got attached to P3 as what we knew about him as our character, but not necessarily as the person behind the character, like as the personality behind the character. And at the end of the day, his personality was a completely new person. It was a fabricated personality that Sechenov made afterwards, after he was like injured and, you know, after rehab, basically. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the dialogue, I guess, in terms of like the jokes and comedy. That was good. It was interesting. It was fun. But again, nothing groundbreaking in terms of script or anything like that. I mean, there are a few ideas that were really good, but I think what I loved the most was just the world building. The world building that's where it got me. That's where I was like, damn. So I don't know if this is I don't think it's being set up for like a sequel. I mean, I'm guessing they could do something like a sequel, but honestly, I'm not expecting it. I don't know if I want one, but if they do make a sequel, I hope it's 10 times better. Or like in terms of, so we had BioShock, right? And BioShock 1 was good. But I think after that, I mean, my favorite BioShock is always going to be Infinite, just because that's the first one I played after, and then I played the other ones afterwards. But it introduced me to that franchise. So I think in this case, it's like, if they make a sequel, I hope it's much better, like in terms of story. I don't know how much budget they had for this game. I think they did great with what, you know, with what they put out. I just don't think it's anything extraordinary. If we compare it to other, you know, games in the industry, I think it's just a story adventure game. It's a slightly above average story adventure game. I like the variety. I think the biggest things that I liked was the variety of enemies that they had, of, you know, the mobs that they had. There was a lot of variety there, so props to them. There's also the different boss battles were pretty fun too, all the way to the end, like from Natasha to Hedgie. Natasha was fun. Hedgie was fucking frustrating, but at the same time, it was epic, because it like these fights are like you're on the close, like you barely beating these fuckers. And like even the last one where we, you know, the guy with the tentacle one, with the eye that was that looked like Frozone, the Frozone robot, not Frozone, the one from The Incredibles. Anyway, so that robot, I literally ran out of bullets, and the last hit was with the freaking axe. So I was like, it's under, like we were on the edge of like of losing, not losing, but we were like right there, you know. So I lost all my bullets, and I like you gotta be very resourceful with some of the enemies that you had. And so I think that's the premise of that premise of the game, or that dynamic of the game, where, you know, the player has to be resourceful with what he has. I think that's what I love the most out of everything. It's just how to manage your resources and selecting the resources that you, the best weapons that you kind of like think you're gonna need. And I didn't explore that much. I didn't, went through the open world as much. So people that actually would do that, or have the patience to do that, will probably get even better weapons and would breeze through the game even better, or even faster in terms of the bosses. But we barely did it, and we were, I think it helped in my immersion, because we were like head to head with these bosses, and then a lot of times I was about to like give out, like health wise. And I don't know, it was just intense. It was intense, which increased that tension within the game. So I really appreciated that from the designers, the combat designers. So I think the combat was really good. And again, the variety of enemies. I mean, even though I hated the bots, how many there were, and the bot mechanics in terms of like the regeneration mechanics, the respawns, I hated it. There were just too many, in my opinion. Even though I hated it, I still appreciated the creativity they had with it, and how they managed to, fit it all in. But again, I mean, that's my opinion. Other people might have enjoyed it even more. They might have given it like an 8, which they may deserve it if somebody enjoyed it that much. But for me, it's gonna be a 6. I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously a 6 is still good. I mean, it's just the story itself at the end. It didn't really leave me with like wanting more. It just it felt like a low blow for the story, just because I was wanting more, and then wanting more in terms of like lore and background in terms of the character. But in the end, I didn't really feel like I found that, or we found that. Like there were some explanations here and there, but I don't know. It's just, the fact that Larissa died just because he got like a tantrum at the end. It's like, it kind of sucked, because he could have found something else in Larissa. I don't know. They could have found companionship with that, or something better. I don't know. And I guess in the end, I guess he lost his mind, because he went into this, I guess I want to say it's like a mental limbo, right? This mental space that he's probably never gonna come back from. So there's the major, there's P3. I guess our character's done. So he's probably not gonna come back from that, because Sechenov's not there to help him. He's dead. So So, like, weirdly enough, I kind of enjoyed the bad ending more, where he says, you know, he's just selfish about it, and he's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not gonna give myself for nothing, because at the end he dies. Well, he doesn't die, but he gets lost into limbo. So for me, that wasn't really a good ending. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, I would still recommend it just because of the gameplay, the combat gameplay. Not for $60, not for $50, maybe for 40 or for probably 40 or below. If you want to get it, it's worth it. But 60, no. 70, definitely not. 70, no. Definitely not. No fucking game is worth $70. No, not even with like pre-order bullshit or deluxe editions. I was gonna actually do The Last of Us part 1 in the next for upcoming videos, but I'm not, because I'm going to wait until The Last of Us 1 comes down in price and that it gets fixed, because I heard a few bad things about it on launch last week, and so I'm just gonna wait for them to fix their shit, and also for the price to come down, just because of the bullshit they launched. So, and hopefully I'll enjoy it more than this one, because even though I did enjoy this part of the story and the combat on this one, I still feel like there's a sour taste in my mouth by the endings. So either way, just a lot more, a different game coming up. So we finish this, we'll see what we can do next. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and yeah, just bear with me, and just stay tuned to see what else we can do in the future. All right, I'm also gonna start launching out, like pumping out games every day, every weekday, and then just work through the weekend on footage and editing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.